Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, loud and clear.
What do you think?
Nice,
Can
pretty.
you see?
Yes, yes, I can see.
All the way
As
from India?
I know, as usual, you're looking so pretty.
Thank you, Jita.
Great. So, hello everyone. This is Ajita. I'm from NthAdventure, and I welcome you all for our first episode of Amplifying Adventure Season 1, which is sponsored by 𝘈𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘯𝘵, which is a community for women, and they do outdoor events for all women. And today, this episode, we have with us extremely hardworking, talented, beautiful, and inspiring businesswoman who is the race director of this Expedition Africa and director of ARWS Africa series, regional series, and she's also ARWS director of international events and branding. Also, ex Miss South Africa runner-up. Yay! Welcome, Heidi.
Thank you, Jita. I'm so excited to be part of your first show and so many wonderful things you are having in mind. So I'm so proud of you. I mean, to bring this
Thank
to
you.
people and your dream, it's wonderful.
Thank you for joining us, and it's so wonderful to have you for our first episode. So, how are you doing? How are things in South Africa?
Wow, I mean, I'm doing great under circumstances. I think, yeah, I think we're all over the world in some kind of situation and some kind of lockdown. We are currently in South Africa, in the middle, nearly to the peak of our third wave. Our numbers are quite high, and every week everything changes. New lockdowns, new rules or restrictions, challenges with the school and the children. And I think we just all, I'm sure like everybody else in the world, we just try to survive. Yeah,
True,
and
true,
you guys,
absolutely
how are
true.
you doing?
The same here. Like it was a quite difficult situation for all of us in India, but together with everyone's support, like be it government or private entities and all the people, all the volunteers and all the healthcare workers, they have supported, and now our numbers are coming down, and we are gearing up to from third wave so that we can be better prepared for third wave. But things are getting back to normal, and we should hope everyone will be, as soon as they will get vaccinated, everything will be back to normal. So let's hope for everyone, not just for India, for all the countries in the entire world.
I think we all
Okay.
hope for that. I think we all, Ajita, before you're firing away with all your questions, I think I think we all just want it a little bit to return to normality, and I think we all just want, the whole world need to stand together and try to, get this thing over so that we can sort of go on with our lives. But
True,
yeah,
true,
we need
absolutely.
vaccinations. It's still slow in South Africa, but we're getting there. We're getting there. But
Yes,
anyway,
yes,
yeah, and
yes.
we are having an opportunity in this time to chat with you and do many other dreams.
Yes, yes. So I'm really, really excited that I'm starting this off Amplifying Adventure, this series, and you are being my first guest. You have inspired so many people, and you are doing amazingly amazing in your field. And the theme of this edition is let's revive adventure tourism, which is our industry. So let's see our perspective, how we look at it, what has been done in the past, how we can together help the community. It is like maybe it's your country or our country, but every country needs to revive, every country needs to support in some or the other way. So let's kickstart that and let's discuss more. Let's have fun. So this episode is all about that. So I just would like to tell all our viewers we have planned certain questions, and there's an audience segment, then there is a rapid fire to know our guest much better, and then there is a giveaway at the end. So just stick around and support us, as well as let's have some fun together.
Perfect. Let's go. Let's roll.
Okay, so my first question for you is, I have I have given your intro, but there is more to you as a Heidi Muller. You have achieved so many things in your life, and I'm so happy to know you and proud of you to being connecting and you being my mentor. Like not just for me, it's for everyone. Let's hear from you, Heidi Muller, how her journey started from being an ex-model and then into adventure racing and then being a race director. How that transition happened.
Oh, um, I think I can keep you busy for the whole day. Gita, I must be honest with you. It's been a roller coaster ride, and I've been blessed in so many ways. I would have never thought earlier in my life it would have turned out this way. And, you know, from doing a little bit of modeling on the side and wanted to be Miss South Africa when I was younger, and that was the dream. You know, I was always an athlete at school, but I just wanted to go to Miss World, to Miss Universe. And never in my life thought I will get involved. I didn't even know about the sport adventure racing. And those years, of course, I was doing mostly fashion shows and photo shoots and pageants. And, you know, the ultimate goal was to be Miss South Africa. And like anything in life, even in people's, if there's anybody in the future listening to us, beauty pageants and modeling, it's the most competitive. And it's such a cruel kind of hard world. And you need to be, of course, like in sport, you need to be on the top of your game. And it takes a lot of experience. You just don't walk in and start winning competition. And that is a journey and a whole story by itself. But, you know, not to keep us from everybody listening for the whole day. The bottom line is by doing all these beauty pageants and fashion shows, I mean, at that time of my life, it was purely for money. You know, I was studying and I needed extra money, and I started doing one show and then a photo shoot, and you were the agent, and the one thing rolls into the next thing. And I started doing pageants, and I started loving it, and I started winning. You know, it's a natural progress, and every time you're getting better and you improve yourself and you work harder, and anyway, you set yourself the next goal. So at a point of my life while I was studying, and I mean, I was studying business, but that became my main source of income and goal, you know, to get into Miss South Africa. I mean, typical like your Miss India. Yeah. And of course, it was one of the best experiences, best time of my life. And I would never, ever take it away or want to, you know what I mean? It is just absolutely amazing. Most of my best friends are still the girls I've met while I was doing modeling in Miss South Africa. But that also taught me a lot of things in life, how to cope under pressure and under stress. I mean, it's hard work to look magnificent every day. It's easy to put on your adventure racing or your running gear and no makeup and just go out and do a race, you know, if you can compare it. But yes. I always say to people, you know, to be a Bollywood star or a movie star or people, it's hard work to put on high heels and clothes and makeup every day. So, you know, that is also, that is a part of my life for so many years. But I can never, like I said, it groomed me for what's to come. I met my husband when I was 21, and he introduced me, Stefan, to adventure racing. And he said to me, let's go and do this race. And I didn't even know what I'm doing. I mean, our first race was a 100-kilometer adventure race. I was like, what is that? What are you doing? No, let's buy you a mountain bike. And what happened was we actually won that race. And that was the beginning of a new world that opened for me. And it was a very good balance. On the one side, I was racing over the mountains through the night, through the day, with complete different attitude and frame and people out in nature. It was incredible. I discovered this world. I fell in love with it. And then on the other hand, I had high heels and makeup and fashion and beautiful people. What can you offer more in life, you know? So I can always tell the story that when I was doing fashion shows, my friends will ask me, what is that? Why are you always blue marks and have scars on your legs? What are you doing? And then I'll say, oh, you won't understand. You're running through the bush in the mountains for 2-3 days. But why do you want to do that? And it's before social media, so it's before you could post and people, knew what it was all about. And then on the other hand, I wanted to do adventure racing, and I said, no, I can't do this race because I had a big photo shoot. But what is that? No, I actually get paid for that. I need to be able to. that is sort of my income. And it's two complete opposite worlds, but I would not change it for anything. And it just was a natural progression. I started racing more every weekend. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of hours started to racing. Suddenly 1 hour training a day became 2, 3, 4 hours on weekends, 5, 6 hours. And it just grew into this world of every second or third weekend was about an adventure race. And that ended up over a period of 10 years.
Wow.
And by then I finished studying. By then I started organizing some fashion shows. I started doing business into the fashion industry, booking people for clients, had launches, corporate functions. I've got a business partner, Amanda. I hope she's listening. She's sitting in France. And I've got a world of stories because I can tell you about the modeling and fashion industry, and I can share with you the world of adventure racing, but as a racer. And I think those years of racing, years of suffering in an adventure race, a team of 4 people, we have to work together. The core experience of adventure racing, I believe, made me a better organizer. And obviously at some point we want children. So when we decided to start with a family, my husband came home one day and he said, why don't we organize a race, in our first expedition race? I didn't even know what I was in for, Ajita. We had a 4-month-old baby, and we went into our first 5-day expedition race, organizing it. We had no money, no sponsorship, no support. I don't even know how we did it. And it just rolled into that race. We came back, and before I knew, we were planning the next race. And can you believe it? We are sitting here and talking, and that's another 10 years later. Obviously giving my age away here, but so I think when you talk to me, you clearly can understand that I can go on forever. And I mean, the world of adventure racer, that's another story. Adventure racer organizer, the challenges you go through, and the experiences you gain, and the stress levels you have to function under. That there's adventure racing, for if there's anybody in our audience, who doesn't know, there's so many things you can plan and so many things you can't plan. There's so many things that can go wrong, and you have to have a big support, and also maybe you need to be a bit crazy, or I don't know what you need. But I will look now at all the adventure races and the organizers in the world, and you need a lot of resilience, and you need a lot of, at the moment, how to organize it and plan it and think, what can we do now? Here's a problem. Because it's not like a normal event where, for instance, some other sports, it is one discipline and we finish for the day and we can continue tomorrow. Or it's one discipline, one route, and we do the same route next year again. It is always new relationships you have to build, new areas. For me, most rewarding thing maybe of a race director is the traveling part of it. We can go into that. We had races all over the world. I had the privilege to organize 2 incredible events in India.
Yes, true.
And dreams, I take people around the world and make them see places they would never see if it was not for adventure racing. So yes, Ajita, it was natural from the one thing into the other. I am still involved with the beauty and fashion industry. I still do a lot of judgings of beauty pageants. I still get a lot of girls knocking on my door and asking them to mentor them, to help them, to give them tips and advice. I love motivating people and to make them believe in their dreams. So that's why I'm so incredibly proud of you, venturing into your own dream. Obviously, I love supporting women and the whole part that goes with that. And we
Yeah.
are, as women, we are, in a sort of male-dominated world, and it's encouraging to others that you can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
yeah, just want to
absolutely
talk too
true.
much.
I can totally relate to that, and it's absolutely so amazing, like how the transition happened, and still you support the community in whatever way possible. Whether be it fashion or sports or being an organizer or an athlete, you're always available and accessible for the people. So that's the best part. And I don't know, that is a different question. Like, how do you find time to between all these things? So we'll not get into it because we know you can do so many things.
Gita, I'm always late. And I'm not late because I want to be late. I'm always late because I'll give you an extra 5 minutes when we have a meeting and
Yeah.
actually, or somebody asks me a question and there's like a line of 5 people standing. I think I love people immensely, and I love to give to people something and encourage them or support them or listen to people. Doesn't matter how busy I am. And I think maybe that's it. Maybe that's why I'm always late. I'll quickly take that call and listen to you. And I think time is most probably the most valuable
True.
commodity.
True.
And in today's life, to give people time is like for me crucially important. So yeah, with Adventure Race, if it's to
Yeah.
support you for a beauty pageant, if that is your dream, if it's to support you to help you to do your first adventure race, I always try to give you a little bit of my time. So I always do burn myself. But you know what? That's something I can't change. Maybe I've just, been made like that. So I don't see it as a
Great.
curse. I see it as a blessing.
No, it's definitely not a curse. If it's a curse, then we love this curse. Yeah. We'll enjoy it. Okay, now since we are talking about time, so I'm just taking the same thing forward, like from last year to this year. So the time was tough for everyone. So how, because you come from a global organization, ARWS, which represents Adventure Racing World Series. So how do you think from last year to this year, this pandemic has impacted the adventure race and the tourism globally? The
Yeah, Gita, I think we all know the answer to that one, that basically everything came to a standstill. I think with Adventure Racing World Series, we have race directors from all around the world and in the different countries, and the impact is different for everyone. So
right.
definitely, even as our race, Expedition Africa, we were cancelled. We had to stop our race 3 weeks before the actual event was supposed to happen. That was now last
Yeah.
year. We postponed it to this year. Like many other race organizers had to
True.
postpone their events. And we had to postpone it again to next year, April. And we can just really hope that we will be able to present that event. And like I said, hope the world will sort of get better and that it can happen. So basically, what I think the impact has been different for everybody. So some races we were fortunate enough that it could happen. For instance, the Oregon race in America and the PC12 race in South America. So there's definitely been races that could happen. Even the race in Sweden just happened. So some of the events could happen because in those countries, the countries had the virus under control. and the teams who entered could participate. In other countries, for instance, like in South Africa, at last year's point, we could not enter Lesotho, and none of our international teams could travel to South Africa. So we had to postpone. So a lot of the international events are postponing to next year, like your race in France, the race in Croatia, even the race in Ireland had to postpone to next year. I think everybody is still very positive and hopeful. I think all the race directors are in the same boat. You know, I think a lot of impact on businesses are very much about where are you, you know, your gearing. I mean, I think we all know if you have a lot of debt, you know, you've just bought a business or you've just bought a house, and at that point the pandemic came. That was the end for a lot of businesses. So thus far, we in the AR World Series are very fortunate that all our international race directors in their own businesses and companies, you know, they are surviving. They are still there. They are still hosting their events for the future. And like I said before, for each country it has been different. The Australian race is going to happen in the next 4 weeks. You know, in Australia they've got it quite contained and you know, under control. So the local teams can do the race. And then again, for us in South Africa, we had ups and downs, but fortunately, you know, in the down sections, we could have hosted our smaller races. You know, we could have hosted our 25-kilometer races, the 60-kilometer races. The local events could happen. But yes, unfortunately, all the international events and travel and tourism, I mean, we all know that has all got impacted, and it was basically, you know, to a standstill. And it is very sad because a lot of countries don't have financial support. You know, there are no grants for guest houses and hotels and operators for people to survive. So if you don't have a savings, you know, obviously a lot of people are in serious trouble. So.
Right. True. Exactly. So now that's how, because before any you being an organizer, all the big races, before hosting it, there's a lot of logistics and cost involved before hosting an event. There are some pre-expense much before, and every race organizer want to give not just a racing experience, but a community experience or an experience which is related to that country, an overall exposure. So somewhere that is also is not able to do, or as an organizing part, I'm asking about an organizer's front, how you connect communities together for races. So those things are also being impacted.
Oh, definitely, Ajita. You know, when you organize an event, it's an opening ceremony, it's a closing ceremony, there's cultural dance involved, tourism is involved. You promote an area for longer than a year to showcase it to the world. So the ripple effect of course, of everything are tremendously. You know, some of the operators, you've paid for the event, and then the event got cancelled, and the operators, in the meantime, the businesses also went under. So by the time you're gonna host that event, you actually have to repay again for those services, and it's just something you've got no control over. So it is definitely a very much of a ripple effect to everything, you know, tourism, and it's not just travel. It's all the way down to the small restaurant when you stop hosting events. And that is definitely what happened all over the world.
Right. So now you have hosted 2 events in India. Okay. So just tell us about that experience and how was it? How was your experience overall? Just tell us about that.
Ajita, look at me. I've got earrings from Glen. This outfit from our friends in India, I actually bought at the airport. On one of my trips, I had to come for a meeting, and I flew in, and at the airport I had a few hours, and I just went to go and shop myself. I've got a few of these dresses. I fell in love with India. I mean, have you ever met anybody who's been to India and is telling you they don't like India. You know, India is one of those countries where you have maybe these preconceived ideas of it's a lot of people and whatever your ideas are. And then once you arrive there, you are overwhelmed with the colors and the smells and the food and the culture. I mean, India, you know, has truly left on me an incredible, you know, it truly has changed my life. I've learned so much in India. It has, as a race director and as a person, it has enriched me in so many ways. I can never be more thankful for the experience I had in India. I mean, if there's people listening from India, we visited Kashmir. I mean, have you ever asked people in Kashmir? Kashmir, Dal Lake, Sonmarg, Leh, Nubra Valley. I mean, come on, how many people can say they've taken people there? It is just incredible. And then we did it again and then again we went to Himachal. We saw from the incredible Shimla. We've ended in Shimla. We saw Manali, and we did that whole. So, I mean, I can speak about India for days. For anybody who missed those events in India, my heart is aching for them because they've missed something in their lives. Because there was so much to learn, and it was such an enriching cultural experience. You know, when you do an adventure race, when you sign up for it, and when you land in that country, my job is to take you to another world. My job is to take you into this bubble where when you race, you forget about the rest of the world. Nothing else matters more than that moment in time where you're trying to survive the elements, but still your senses see, and you know, it's the stars, it's the mountains, it's the people. And then when you suffer a lot in adventure racing, and then when you get to the end, it's my job to make you feel amazing, and to after a day or two, when you forget about the hardships, you just remember about the people and what you've seen and the colors. I mean, we had absolutely the most incredible experiences in India. Like I said, from a business perspective, we've learned so much and we've grown so much, and I can never take that away. And again, from a participation experience, it was, I think, mind-blowing. Arriving in Delhi airport, what do you do with your bicycle? Then we bus you over mountains to our hotel. Then it's sing and dance. Then it's the colors. And then we even had a color festival in Manali. And I mean, it's just going on and on and on, all these things. And I know in my heart that our teams and of the feedback afterwards had the best experience in India. India is an adventure racing paradise. I mean, we haven't even tapped into India. India can keep us busy for years. So, I mean, for people in India, I mean, they should race, they should do adventure racing, and we should have more races in India. I mean, India is just made for adventure racing. So, yeah, 𝘱𝘰𝘶, I say thank you to India and all the magnificent people I've met in our journey, basically 3-4 years. And you know, good and bad times, it has enriched us in so many ways. And it made us better race organizers. And it actually showed us to how much you can offer your teams. So, yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you, Heidi. It's so good to hear about your experience and everything you're talking about India. I'm so proud that, yeah, I'm from India. I can get to invite you more often. And for people, all the people, those who have missed last 2 Expedition India races, volunteers as well as participants, after listening to Heidi, I'm sure you'll be thinking, when is the next race? So you got to wait a little longer, and let's pray that we get to do soon something really exciting. So yeah, thank you so much, Heidi, for all the adventures. And that's where we both met and our friendship grew so long. I can't express much about that as of now. But yeah, thank you for bringing adventure racing to India. It was so amazing to have you here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And thank you, Ajita. I mean, from our races in India, you've been out to South Africa, you gained your own experience and knowledge. You came to support us, help us, work with us. You came to Rodrigues. You worked with us in the office, I think 2, 3 months even after our events. So hopefully we've showed you a little bit more of behind the scenes of what's happening, in of how to produce these big events. It just doesn't happen overnight. It takes years of planning. And yeah, of course, that's the challenges, and you need a lot of determination for that. But I think,
Thank you so
Gita,
much.
just to go back to that, you need a lot of passion. You need a lot of passion to be a
Thank you.
director.
Thank you
Because
so
with the
much.
immense, you need fire to push you through the bad times. So
Exactly.
remember that.
True, true, true. When I have a mentor like you who has been like just bang on pushing and doing everything, that's, yeah, of course. I've learned from the best. So here I am. We are going through. We'll do it.
Bring it on, Nikita.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Okay. So now, let's go back to now global adventure racing. You as ARWS. So ARWS is planning to globalize the adventure racing. So how that's going to happen? We have seen that regional races have come into picture. Now it was not just expedition races where people talk only about 500, 600 kilometers adventure races. So how, as an organization, ARWS is planning to globalize the sport, bring in more people, and how it's going to impact the Indian tourism? What is your thoughts on that?
I think, yes, Jita, the AWS vision is definitely to get adventure racing, like a recognized sport globally. We already have our qualifier races in a lot of countries all over the world, and we're always seeking new countries. But then you need to go to the next level because there's a lot of people who's dreaming of adventure racing. But how do you get into the sport? And that is where we started with our regional series. So the regionals are a little bit of a 24-hour race, normally between the distance 120, 150 kilometers. It's a weekend race. And we're very happy to say that even though with COVID, the pandemic in these last 2 years, we've managed to run, a series in South America, the one in South Africa, Africa's running.
Great.
The one
Yeah.
in Asia, Asia was started. You guys
Yes.
started in Asia. You could not continue because you got halted a little bit.
True.
The one in 𝘱𝘉 in Australia is running. And we are super excited to say that we finally got a European series going. We're going to launch it in the next week. And then my next goal is to get the series happening as well in the US. So the goal for this is, like you say, to get the regional races running in all the different countries. And I mean, ideally, you should have that all the countries in the world should have adventure racing organizer. I mean, who doesn't want to run and kayak and cycle, put all those multidisciplinary sports together? It's definitely for the future. I do believe in the dream of adventure racing, and like you said, how to globalize it and put it all over the world. For India, I mean, it's incredible that there's now an opportunity for India to get involved in that level of racing. I mean, in India, with so many states, there could be potentially, a lot of races happening in India.
True.
It gives you the opportunity to be part of a global brand. So not only give it immense, like tourism and international exposure to India, but you actually can have an opportunity where you grow it on grassroots levels. You can start with what I think you guys are trying to do and grow in India. You can have shorter races, day races, and up to 24-hour races. But here, of course, it comes in where it's crucially important to get local support. Of course, somebody like you who's new, who's getting into the industry, and you're trying to grow a business, you know, basically from nothing. It takes huge, like I said, passion, determination, belief in the product. And, you know, as I know, you know, local tourism, this is a great opportunity for them to step up and say, okay, here is a sport where we can grow it locally and get international exposure. Here is a sport where, you know, where the whole world can start watching us and say that we're part of this map. And of course, we just need their support. And there's many ways how they can support you. But 𝘰𝘰𝘶, that is the idea, to, in a global way, get people like you the support and the mentorship of how to host these races. And in each country around the world, you know, you can start growing the sport of adventure racing.
True.
So, you know, there's many ways of how to do it.
Exactly. I really like the initiative of having regional races where where you have many countries being part of it, not just for the 500 or expedition style racing, where every athlete who is into just one single sport, maybe running or cycling or maybe kayaking or being a triathlete, at least they get an exposure to do smaller version of it, still being part of a brand or still being a part of a schedule, or maybe where they know exactly what are the rules, what is happening when you make a team, and what's going to happen when you do 24-hour races. So instead of traveling to far off places just to get an experience, they can get it in their own country, still being part of the community. So that's a great thing which ARWS is doing.
And as I grow, 𝘰𝘰𝘶, as I get more experience, you know, they might want to say after 2 or 3 years, well, we have enough experience now. Let's travel, for instance, to some of the other races in the Asian series. Let's say there's a race in Malaysia or in Thailand. They will say, oh, well, we have now a little bit more experience. We've been racing 2 or 3 races. We would like to go. And again, and that's where you get that cross-border relationship of traveling and exposure.
Exactly.
But it gives somebody an opportunity to participate in an event, but he's not yet ready to go immediately to a 500k multi-day expedition kind of race. And because that is a big step for people. You know, you can't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to race for 5 days. You need a team, you need experience. And if we have these local races in all the countries, that is how you grow it. So we're very excited about it, and you know, we believe there's a whole world out there, and people who would like to be part of the regional series. So on that note, if you ever want to do a race in a regional series, call me. I'll tell you how to do it.
Of course, I will. So now, since we are talking about hosting regional and expedition races in different countries and different states, so what do you feel like, what kind of support is required from tourism industry to revive adventure tourism, not particularly in India, but since we are talking about India, but it can be globally? What kind of support you have received for your previous races, and what do you think tourism department, where they should pitch in?
𝘰𝘰𝘶, I think again, let's start with the shorter distance races. First of all, of course, in each country, tourism needs to support, like any other event, support events and grow it, and to get people back into the countries traveling. So that is like your domestic tourist. And then the next step, how can tourism internationally? Now that is another story, because to get back into international travel, I very firmly believe that, you know, the first people in the world that will start traveling again are the people, the adventure people. You know, maybe people are a little bit scared. You know, the pandemic scared them. The world is, you know, it's a more scary place now. You'll think 2 or 3 times before you'll do an international flight and travel somewhere. I think a country like India, of course, people who's been to India will return. because they know what they're in for. But maybe new people might be a little bit scary in the beginning. So what do you do? What did you except doing international adverts and showing the world that it's better and your numbers are down and everybody? I think the big campaign must be to get international people back into your country. And I mean, there's no other better way than support adventure racing. You know, people like us, event organizers, we come into your country and you organize a race and people follow us. The adventure-seeking people, they have not been racing, most of them, for 2 years or longer. They seek adventure. They want to travel. So all you need to do is to make it easy for them. Make it easy. If it comes to visa, make it easy, invite them. Say, come, our country's open, we will support you. You know, in the previous races, tourism support greatly. You know, tourism can support your media by sponsoring your media's flight tickets. You can get local sponsors and accommodation. You can get car sponsorship. So it is like partnering with people that have a good product and they actually can boost tourism and bring those people back, and at the same time give you great publicity that yes, it's safe to go to that country. Yes, it's still incredible. Yes, we're on the track back to traveling. And the moment when you start bringing in events, again, we're talking about those people come in with money. You know, they're staying at a hotel. They start buying food at the local shops. They travel, you know, on the tuk-tuks. They shop scarves and clothes. And money goes back into the local community. Again, you host a function, opening ceremony, closing ceremony. So wherever you have that event, it will generate income. And again, you get a positive feeling back. You start boosting people's morale that, you know, in these small little towns and villages where they haven't seen international people maybe for 2-3 years, they are coming back. So, you know, there's a lot of things the moment when you start inviting international people back into your country. And I hope for the future, you know, I think tourism and all the tourism industries are really looking into 2022, 2023 and have a plan to get back on track and invite these adventure seekers into their countries. So I think we need to make it easy for people. We need to make people feel welcome, feel them safe, and by supporting, you know, credible people in the world, and people bring people. So I think whichever tourism in any country are seriously looking at what can they do to get people back into their countries. So India should do the same.
Yeah. So I remember one for 𝘓𝘕𝑔𝑒𝑠, like when 𝘓𝘕𝑔𝑒𝑠 you were having your event. So teams travel with their family much prior to the event, and then so if you just highlight on that part, because it was beautiful. People after a year also talking about that race, posting about it. There was huge marketing about that island adventure.
Ajita, you know, when you give people an incredible experience, they talk about it for years to come. So your marketing is not for only the event and before the event. Your marketing lives forever. People will always talk about, wow, that race we had there. Oh, the country was magnificent. The people. Oh, if you will tell other people. People still call me and ask, Heidi, where should we go? I say, that you have to go to 𝘓𝘕𝑔𝑒𝑠. You have to go to India. So, and I think when you bring a race to a country, you're not only bringing the races. 𝘓𝘕𝑔𝑒𝑠 was the best example. We had 240 individuals competing in the race, and we nearly had 500 people on that small island. It was the most flight tickets into that island, I think, in 1 week ever. We can be so happy it happened before COVID.
Exactly, that 500 people includes me as well.
I mean, it was the biggest award function they've ever had on that island.
Yeah.
So, like you say, if you create something magical, the memory and the feeling, the marketing for that country and the exposure lives forever. So, and that is what tourism should think about. You know,
Yeah.
you have to understand there's more people coming. There's so much marketing going in it, you can't even quantify it.
True.
And yeah, I mean, it's an endless,
Yeah.
we can go on forever, Gita.
Yeah. Well, thanks,
But
Heidi.
Gita, I just want to say, just remember, magic can create it with amazing support when you have tourism backing you, when you have your races supporting you. And that is something you build up over years. And you cannot do it without that support. You can put the most magnificent race on, and if nobody's coming, you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't really help. So
True,
it
true.
is also a process of support from both sides. You need the Indian people to support you to do your races, and you also need the tourism to support you.
Yeah, yeah. Well expressed, Heidi. Well said. Thank you so much. So our serious discussion ends at this question. So our this segment ends. So now,
Okay.
yeah. So we'll continue our long discussion offline. So now we'll move on to our next segment, which is audience questions, which is audience segment. So before we went live, when we announced that you're going to be our guest, so we have asked to people, they can ask their questions, and there are 5 questions for you. So you can answer
Five.
4 of, yes, you can answer 4. So you have to choose which question you would like to answer. So now here is something which this is the first episode, I have to tell everyone, these questions are pre-asked, like before before today's session, people have already asked the questions, what they would like to ask our guest. So as you guessed, you have to pick 4 questions which you want to answer. Out of that 4 questions, one person you will pick again. So that person will be a lucky winner for a giveaway at the end of the session.
Okay, so let's
Okay.
go, Cheetah.
Yeah. So you know there is 5 questions, so you can pick whichever number you want. I'm going to read out the question to you, and it's up to you to answer.
Oh, now I must remember all 5. Okay, go for it.
No, you have to tell question 4, or you want to question 3. You tell me the question
Okay.
number which you would not want, and you can
Oh,
note
I can
down.
give you any number.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You tell me the number.
Okay. Number 3.
Number 3. Okay. Number 3 is, what is that you were told not to do, but you still did it and succeeded?
What?
What is that you were told not to do? You cannot do it, don't do it, but you still did it and you succeeded it.
Oh, what am I told not to do? But I still do it. Oh, every day I do something I'm being told not to do. Every day I do something. I was told. How honest must I be?
See, everyone gonna watch this. Your husband, your kids, your family, India, me, adventure racing
To be
friends.
honest, I've been over my 20 years, I was told many times not to do things, and I did it. So there's actually 2 things comes to my mind quickly. The one was I was told not to do India.
Okay.
I was told not to do a race in India, and I did it. And I'm still alive, and I'm still here today,
Thanks for that.
and I will never regret it. Okay? That was
Okay.
one. Oh, the other one, of course, I was told not to give birth naturally, and I did that too. Okay.
Great. Thank you. Okay, next question. Your pick.
Okay, let's go for number 1.
Number 1. Okay. How do you balance work and family? Tough question. I know.
You know, as a mother, God blessed us in so many ways to juggle life, business. As I told you before, I'm richly blessed. It's not always easy. There's times when you feel you neglect the one part. You feel you are torn between so many places. And somehow we all just survive. Somehow I have a coffee with a friend and I speak to somebody else and I think, wow, I think I'm the only one going through this. We all go through this. Our mothers went through this. Look at every successful businesswoman. Everyone, none of us are spared any hardships or any sadness, hard times. We all go through many of those. And somehow we juggle it. Somehow we manage it to give it all for our children. I have to say, COVID came at a perfect time for us in our lives. We were running this treadmill at full speed. And COVID came, and of course, it gave us a little bit of a moment to reflect, to stand still. It gave us the incredible time, more time with our children. And again, for that, I'm so grateful because it made everything a little bit slower. I could speak to you a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I could have a little extra coffee. Because, you know, it just made everything a little slower. So somehow, you know what, we are made this way. If women speak to me, I say, don't worry about it. You can have children, you can have a business, you can run the household, you can be a wife. There are millions of women in front of us who all did it. So, you know, it's you just roll into it naturally. So, yeah, I don't know how we juggle it, but we do it anyway.
Nice.
I hope that's our answer.
Yeah. Okay, next question, your pick.
Okay, let's go to 5.
5, okay. How to be an adventure racer, a female adventure racer in a team. How to be a better female adventure racer in a team.
Oh, that's very easy.
That's a nice answer. So girls, you got it?
Girls, you got it?
Yeah.
You don't ask how long is it to the next PC point. You don't ask what must I do next. You read the race book yourself. You don't ask, are you sure we must go over this mountain? Yes, we are sure you must go over this mountain. You keep it quiet. I've been a racer myself. I've now on the other side and I look at teams when they race and I just hear the woman complaining and moaning and I'm like, zip it, don't ask. If you cannot make the decisions, you're not allowed to ask how far or how much anymore. The secret to success is to look up to the stars and to look after yourself and just to survive and be quiet. It's not helping. It's not helping. If you can contribute and ask with what can I help? Can I carry your backpack? Can I fill up your water? Can we make the transition faster? Okay, guys, we have 10-minute transition. It's now 9 minutes. If you contribute, you can say something. But if whatever you say is not contributing, I think best is to keep it to yourself. And I think like adventure racing, maybe in the future we must race with a mask. You know, when you want to say something, put your mask on and just say it to yourself. And you just say the good things to the rest of the team.
That's a great advice.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
There are many other things, but that is one of the most important things. If you don't contribute, then you should rather not say anything. I think it's anyway the same principle in life.
Yeah.
It should be your philosophy in life, but
exactly.
That's how I feel.
Exactly. Okay, the last question. Last question.
Who's the lucky one? Number 2.
Number 2. Okay. What is that one thing which does not let you sleep?
I don't know. I sleep always very well. Um, I do worry. I worry, I think like anybody else. I worry when my son is writing an exam the next day. I will
Okay.
worry and don't sleep at night if we've done enough. I will wake up at night a little bit feeling stressed about the opening ceremony of an event. And, you know, if our event is going to be successful and if everything is going to run smoothly. And I worry about the safety of our teams. Yeah, I do worry about those things, and it might wake me up at night where I feel, you know, calm down, Heidi. Yes, I think once the race starts, you know, and it's 3, 2, 1, we go. It's like when I can breathe, and we go then into a next action mode. But I have to say, pre an event, I am stressed. And I am worried that it all went well. And you know, I normally need to do an opening speech and motivate people. And I do worry if I do enough, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it makes me sometimes, you know, wake me up at night, and I do worry. I think it's natural. I think if you don't worry, I think it's very important to have adrenaline. And I think when you stop worrying, maybe, then, you know, I don't know if it's so important to you. If you are stressed a little bit about something, it means, wow, it's close to your heart. You want it to be great. So it's a very important ingredient to have adrenaline to create magic.
Great,
Was
great.
that good?
Thank you. Yeah, so that's it. That was our audience round. And I hope our audience, you have got your answer.
Sorry for the call. They can ask me privately afterwards.
Yeah. You can comment on this video later and then you can get answer from Heidi directly. Okay, so now you're ready for our next round, which is rapid fire round. So we have done discussing serious questions. Now it's a fun time. Let's all of us have fun and let's know our guest, Heidi Muller, a little better, little in detail. Heidi, are you ready?
Oh. Ajita, it feels like I'm doing Miss India now. I feel like I'm doing Miss South Africa now. I thought that is so finished.
Okay, so do your best. Bring on your game. Do your best, and you will have like less than 5 seconds to answer. So let's
okay,
start.
I can't answer. I'll just pass.
You have to answer all. Okay, let's do this. So, okay, question number 1 of our rapid fire round begins. So, name your favorite Indian dish. What's that?
What's the thing? Masala. See, something like masala?
What masala? What's that? Paneer masala, butter masala? What do you want? The biryani or what?
Biryani. You've made me biryani. That dish you've made. Your dish.
Okay, biryani is your favorite Indian dish. Okay. Guys, she loves biryani. Okay, let's go. Okay, which role is toughest? Choose between one. As an adventure racer, as a businesswoman, as a mommy. Which role
What is the toughest?
Yes.
Adventure racing director. Toughest.
Wow, you didn't say mommy. Nice, good.
No.
Okay, next question.
It's easy to be mommy.
So nice. Well, okay.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay, which edition of Expedition Africa is your best race organized so far?
I think Rodriguez.
Oh, wow. So you have organized 10 races, so Rodriguez is your best race Expedition Africa. I think everyone will agree with that. Okay, your next question. Your dream country where you would like to host adventure is?
Bhutan.
Bhutan. Okay, let's go there soon. That's coming under Asia Regional Series. So yes, we will do it together. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, the next question. If not race director of an adventure race, what you would be doing?
Oh, nothing else. I love what I do. I don't want to do anything else. I've been born to do this. If anything else, I don't know. I want to be Miss Universe.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Okay, next question. Choose one. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Expedition India 2017 or Expedition India 2019?
17.
Okay. Gin on the tap or Namakwa wine?
Namakwa wine.
Okay, that's a good one. Next one. Which race director is better at driving in night? Heidi Muller or Stefan Muller?
Of course, Stefan Muller. Heidi Muller slipping down the steering wheel.
Okay, next question. What do you think of when I say this in 1 or 2 words? Adventure racing.
It's all about love.
South Africa.
Incredible.
Stefan Muller.
My whole life.
India.
Incredible adventure.
Miss Universe.
Oh, my favorite.
Okay, so next question. If you were a superhero, what would your powers be?
To make magic in the way of to make everybody happy.
Wow, that's a nice power. Okay, and the last question, and this is for all the people who are going to be part of next year's Expedition Africa. How many checkpoints are going to be there for Lesotho 2022?
It's Expedition Africa in Lesotho. It's obviously going to be the best race in the world. And there's going to be hardly any checkpoints. It's going to be, I think, around 9 checkpoints. It's going to be a straight line race over the mountains, and it's going to touch your heart for the rest of your life.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks, Heidi. So that was your rapid fire round. You did amazing. Thank you so much.
You can ask more.
Well, for that, I'll get better prepared for the next series. Okay. Okay, so now we are moving on to our next segment, which is a giveaway segment. Yes. So here we asked 5 questions. So out of that, you answer 4. So out of 4, you have to pick any number. And then we're going to announce who's our winner going to be. You answer 3, 1, 5, and 2. So among this, you have to pick any one number. And I have this card.
3.
Number?
3.
3.
3.
3. Ah, okay, we have a winner. So winner is Shweta. All right. So this was our giveaway segment, and Shweta, she's getting a paid hiking trip from our sponsor of this event. Yes, a 1-day hiking trip, and she can be part of a hiking trip with Alag Adventures, who is our sponsor for this episode. And yeah, so our adventures is going to begin. So on this note, yes, on this note, I want to say end of episode 1. I want to thank all our viewers, our sponsors, and everyone watching us. Thank you so much for being part of our this episode, and especially thanks to Heidi for taking time and joining us all the way from South Africa, sharing her perspective and so many things about life. And we hope you enjoyed, and it was great for you as well.
Oh, thank you, 𝘰𝘰𝘶. I'm so proud of you. I hope, just wish you all the best for your program. And I know you're going to be wonderful, successful in your new journey. I wish you also all the best in your journey, in your adventure racing directorship at the company. And I believe that you'll get greatly supported in India. It's like I said, an absolutely wonderful country. And as much as we were blessed, that the blessings will come all the way to you, and you will do great things in India. From a woman's perspective, of course, I'm very proud of you. And just all the best. Thanks for the opportunity. And I hope our friends enjoyed our chat. And yes, God bless.
Thank you so much, Heidi. It means a lot hearing from you, and you coming here, sharing your experience, and just letting us know so many things about the sport, about the organization, about what we can do better. So before we sign off, any last message you would like to give away to the women who are into adventure sports or other event organizers? Any last message from you?
I would like to encourage all the adventure racing organizers and the people who's got this dream. And just say from our own experience, it is not easy to be an adventure racer. It's a very hard sport. And definitely it's not easy to be an adventure racing director. But the rewards and the fulfillment you get out of it is immense. Every team member you see over your finishing line, you think you change their lives, they actually change your life. You think you enrich their lives, they actually enrich your life. Because what you can see what the human body can do, and how incredible they are to endure for so many days and then come over the line, and just how you, the change, the love in their faces. So focus on that. Remember that, because in times like now, we haven't had races for so long, it is so hard to stay committed and focused. And don't despair. You know, it's maybe not the kind of business where you're going to drive a Ferrari or you're going to have millions, but it is in so many other ways, you know, the best life I could have asked for. So from my side to all the other people who dream of hosting these incredible events, let's hope you get support in your country. Keep on going. If you ever need advice or assistance, please call us. We are there. You know, we've done this. We've seen so many things, and we can share our knowledge with you, from mapping, you know, to working out your timesheets, to working out your program of maybe what to do and what to be careful of. So we extend a hand. ARWS are now all over the world. And just reach out. We are there. We are a tight-knit community. And, you know, adventure racing, we are a worldwide family. Yes. And yes, to everybody out there, racing, keep on racing, guys. It is incredible. Organizers, keep on organizing, and just stay faithful and believe in what you do, and persevere. Nobody ever said that it will be easy.
True. That's a great message, and thank you again, Heidi, for sharing your perspective with us. I'm sure our viewers and who are going to watch this later on also will be able to connect with you, and will be able to realize that what has happened and what is ahead, what is in future. So let's look forward to the positive aspect of it and how we can do better in 2022 and 2023. So on that note, I want to thank everyone once again. Stay safe, and we're gonna be catching up with you again next week, Thursday, same time, same day, but with a different amazing guest. But today, thanks to Heidi Muller. Till then, everyone stay safe, Take care. I know life is an adventure, different adventure for everyone, but let's not lose the spirit of adventure. Let's continue following our dreams. And as Heidi said, it's all about love. Let's continue spreading love and keep supporting each other. And let's see what we can do, how we can impact the world. Thanks, Heidi. I can't wait to see you next year. All the best for your
Yes,
future
let's
events. All the best.
Thank you, Chita. Hope I continue to see you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe. Take care. Bye.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone. This is Ajita from NthAdventure signing off.
Bye.
Oh, bye,
She
Bella.
needs to just say hello. She just needs to say hello.
Hi. Bye, Heidi. Take care. Bye.